Right, and we're live. This thing go live quick.
Yeah, don't give no countdown.
Don't count you down. How y'all doing?
I'm glad I went scratching my butt.
I'm glad you weren't saying nothing crazy like you normally do. My gosh, good evening.
Let's have the good people. It's good
y'all to come in, say hello.
It's good to be back on live with you.
Always. Let me set this ticker right here.
No, it really is. We be having a lot going on even at home.
Sure do. Come in, say where you from, what's up, what's the weather like where y'all at? Because Atlanta had a snowstorm. So,
ish.
They thought the ice was gonna melt and freeze, but it didn't. But still, it was good. Steve Thompson in the house says, "Hello, kids."
Steve, what's happening?
Man, he says, "Hi, my family. This is Scotty Too Hottie." Oh, what's up, Scott?
Scotty.
Man, listen here.
That's my guy right here.
Nice to see you guys again. Happy New Year. I sure thought about you in that banana pudding the other day.
Yes, definitely.
I really did. I sure did. I'm glad. I said, "Man, I ain't heard from Scotty."
This is my buddy.
Yeah, for sure. Love you, Scotty.
Yes, much love, brother.
David M209 with the thumbs up. Corey in here.
Corey.
How that new Escalade treating you, Corey? Tell us. Man, Tell us for the questions get too long.
Yes.
Oh, hey, stranger.
Josh. What's happening?
You talking about stranger. Where was you last live? Because
he was there, I thought.
No, he was not. No, he was not. Lucid Etho says, "Hey, Car Doctor fam, weather is beautiful as usual in South Florida." Listen, the people in North Florida cannot agree. It was cold. They said it was cold down there. Thinker outside the box. What's up, y'all? Did y'all like that snow?
Yes, we enjoyed it.
We had a good time.
My wife, she made me go outside. I was like, I don't want to go outside.
I did.
I've seen snow. You seen it. You seen it all. Huh?
It wasn't about that. It was like it was a chance to have a core memory with the kids, and then the kids loved it because last time we had a snowstorm, I think my oldest son may have been 3, and he's 14 now. And so really, essentially, it was all of their first time like seeing snow.
Yeah, even my daughter was like, "Wow, fun!"
Like real snow.
She didn't even know what to call it.
So I said, "Come outside for a little minute. Come be with you."
Did some running in the snow. I was like, "I'm getting too old."
Yeah. Devin Whitlow says, "Hey, Alex."
Devin, what's happening, homie?
Rudolph Lowe 1. Hello from Norfolk, Virginia.
Good old VA.
Hello from Vallejo, California. Lisa, hey.
I hope that's not the part that's giving all those issues. That's LA.
Well, we know it's in LA, but because your Alex's sister is in LA, so prayers and shout out to people over there. But we're not sure if that's the only part of California.
I know it's affecting the smoke. I heard it was really bad.
Yeah, it did.
Surrounding areas.
Yeah. Time Code M says about 2 feet of snow around here. I love that. Where? Oh, he's in Oklahoma. In OK, yeah. Do y'all normally get snow over there? I think people automatically think the West is hot from Texas back, but no, like it gets cold in Arizona, right? I don't know. Never been. Brian Glenn says, "Good evening. It's 54 degrees here right now. How y'all been?"
Great.
We've been doing great. Some heavy chilling for 3 days. Relaxing. Corey Turner said, "I got another Escalade." I know.
Oh yeah, we know. How you find out, sweetie?
He said it. He told us like on a live or 2 ago.
Yeah.
Or maybe he called Curtis and said it, but I did know that he got another one. Davin said, "I got a new 25 Honda Civic."
Can't go wrong with those.
Them things look so nice.
Yes, they're beautiful. And packed with a lot of little cool little features. Depending on how you get it.
It reminds me of a fancy GTR, like not the Nissan GTR, but like in that genre.
Sporty.
Yeah. Man, I mean, I guess you ain't gonna have too much car trouble.
Nah, you good.
Les Wild says, "Hi, I didn't mean to be condescending on your best drivetrain for snow."
No, you wasn't.
Snow tires will work. Oh, okay.
I meant that I was gonna make another video clearing everything up. It was mainly for people that don't get snow because down here we can't get snow tires. So it was.
I mean, we can, but
we have to order them. Then they'll just be sitting there and they'll dry rot. It was more for the folks that just use regular all-season tires. But no, I appreciate the feedback that you gave. Very, I mean, very welcoming welcome me. I can't get it out.
Yeah, and we don't really take stuff
personal.
Yeah, I mean, what we should have added was these are for the southern noobs who never get snow. Because down here,
some noobs.
what they mentioned snow ain't no bread or water at the store. Here, it's nothing in the store.
And I actually learned quite a few things from you guys coming from the folks that's professional snow drivers.
Yeah,
so, yeah. All the comments are appreciated.
We put on Instagram, hey, this ain't for y'all northerners, okay? This is for the noobs that we don't know. They don't know what they doing.
Josh, I appreciate
Josh, thanks for the super chat. He said I was working. That's why I missed, because it was lunchtime and I was at work. I have a cat code on my Subaru. Sheesh.
420, I'm assuming, or 430, because Subarus have 2 banks. What I would try to do, Josh, is make sure your maintenance is up to par. Start with spark plugs if you haven't had a tune-up in a while, and a good fuel induction service. And you should, that sometimes it's a 50-50 chance they may work and get rid of that cat code. I've actually learned from a rep recently that this is the same rep that told me about the GM cats.
Yeah. 1-800 radiator rep.
And he was telling me about a lot of people misdiagnose catalytic converters because of crazy stuff like it's other systems in the car that's not up to par, like the cooling system, maybe your thermostat is stuck wide open, and that can affect your catalytic converter, vacuum leaks, fueling issues. So it's a lot that plays into play when it comes to diagnosing a bad catalytic converter. Just don't start with, oh, I see a code, let me throw a cat at it. Most of the time that'll work, but sometimes it won't.
Interesting. We should do some informative video on that. Corey Turner says, I want y'all to check it out soon. Come on.
You know, you're always welcome. And it's on the house too, buddy. I look it over for you.
All the way from Alabama. That's where Corey comes from.
I got you, buddy. I'll check it out. No charge.
Troy Demand says it was the worst in Missouri.
What?
I believe it, Troy. That's why I don't be complaining, because it's like, man, we got 2 to 3 inches of snow for 48 hours.
Not even that. Like, it snowed from 6, 7 in the morning to like 3 ish in the evening, and it was coming down. It came down pretty quick.
I've been living here my whole life. I had never seen nothing like that. So
this snowstorm in '94, I remember.
I don't even remember it. Josh with another super chat. Thank you. He says the check engine light goes off and on. Like right now, the check engine light is off at the moment, and at other times it comes on. It's hit or miss.
It's not. I wouldn't blame the cat, Josh, and I see that a lot. Especially you have with people that have high hopes with cat codes, or they'll come on and off, and it's worth trying. And if it don't work, at least your car is cleaned. It brought it to speed, and it done had what I always tell people, colon cleanse. It's like a colon cleanse for humans. That give it a good fuel induction service, because a clean internal engine is a emission friendly, earth dreamy engine. I got Earth Dreams from Honda. That's their theme. Earth Dreams. That's the name of the engine.
You got a new brand going on right now?
Yeah, they've been doing Earth Dreams for a while now. The type of engine that says Earth Dreams on the front. Honda really pride themselves in cleaner producing vehicles.
Okay. Alonzo Johnson in the house. It says, hi. Hey,
Alonzo. What's happening? Good
Corey
to see
says,
you.
how do I send a question with a super chat? You know what, Corey? I don't even know. I don't even know. Because a lot of people will send the super chat and forget to attach the question. So I don't know. Something. It depends on what device you're watching it on, maybe. Alonzo said, pay. He said, how do I do that?
I appreciate the love, fellas.
Yeah, for sure. Retro says, my oil pressure is a small bit higher than usually after an oil change. What do I check?
Me, I wouldn't be concerned about high oil pressure. Mainly, it's not really a big concern. I've never seen high oil pressure do any damage. But out of the blue, high oil pressure, I will blame the sensor. Because you used a well-used engine somewhere in the 100,000-mile range, or even 50,000 to on up range, it shouldn't be gaining oil pressure. It should be losing oil pressure over time as the internal parts wear. What happens to get oil pressure, you have small oil passageways, very tight tolerances, and it's like a pressure washer. It's the best example I can give you. You take a pressure washer, whether it's 2,000 psi, 3,000 psi, it doesn't matter. You have tips, special tips that you can attach to it. Those who played around with pressure washers know if you don't attach a tip, what happens? It just trickles out, and it comes out like the same speed of the faucet does, the spigot. But as soon as you put that restriction tip on there, it comes blasting out at very high pressure that can cut you and do serious damage. Cut your skin off because there's so much pressure, and that's how an engine works. Over time, those tolerances get looser and looser, and you'll start dropping oil pressure as the engine wear. So high oil pressure out of nowhere from I'm assuming a used engine, it's not likely. So you probably given some bad readings with your oil pressure switch. You can try changing that out. Perfect example, on my Chevy Express SS, the oil pressure jumped up to like the maxed out. And I know that's a freshly rebuilt engine, but it shouldn't be that high, and it just stays there. It don't even fluctuate no more. My oil pressure switch is bad.
Okay. D Boy says, I'm having issues with my 2010. I'm just, whoa, that came out of nowhere. 2010 Cayenne. When it's cold, it starts up fine, but once I drive for a while and turn it off, it doesn't start right back up. I've already replaced the battery.
Doesn't start back up. I'm gonna need a lot more information from you. Things like, is the check engine light on? Is the starter engaging the engine? Or is it just sitting there turning over like or every time you hit the key, click, 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 something like that. I think that's about it for now. The information I will need from you to better help you.
All right, dude.
Good job starting with the battery. A lot of people would neglect that battery, and it'd be the main root cause of no starts.
All right, D Boy, try to drop that down. I'll try to scroll down and pick you up. Meanwhile, it's Dowdy says, hello, family.
Hey, what's happening?
Always good to see my kin folks right here. Real good Rico, he says, hello. Engine light on, but no codes.
You're gonna need to get a good scanner. When it comes to Dodge vehicles.
Wait, let me finish reading. Okay. Because he might give it away right here.
All right.
No codes on a 2014 Dodge Charger 3.6, 134,000 miles. Not going into any gear at times. Just goes to park. But other times does go into gear and drives forward and back as well. Okay.
When it comes to Dodge vehicles, you will need a good scanner to get into, like a really good scanner to get into the full system, because modern day vehicles have breakdowns of different systems. Yes, you have one computer, but in that one computer, they have it broken down in sections. They have the engine, the transmission, and I think you have an ABS control module to get into the other systems. But that's how the computer is broken down. So you could have a transmission code, and the scanner that you have would only read the engine. And of course, it's not going to be nothing in the engine. It's going to be a transmission related code. And you will need to have a great scanner to get in the computer and actually see what's going on with that code. But yeah, it's going to be a transmission code.
All right. Picking back up at D Boy, he says, but if I jump it off without trying it, after I turn it off, after riding it, it starts right straight up.
Sounds like you're having some type of weird electrical issue.
All right, wait a minute. He got one more. He says, no, check engine light, and it turns over but doesn't crank until it's like my third or fourth try. And this is all talking about this
Cayenne.
Yeah.
I don't see too many Porsches, and I've only worked on maybe literally a handful of Porsches in my career. So I don't see them that often to know what's going on off the top of my head. Just because I don't see a lot of them, that don't mean I can't figure it out and see what's going on with it. But in a particular situation like this, I would have to see the vehicle, and you have to get it properly diagnosed. I don't have anything off the top of my head or ran into anything remotely sounding to your issue. So dealing with Porsches, they're weird little
cold start, it crank right up when you go in the morning.
That's very odd.
You drive it, turn it off, it ain't cranking.
Yeah, but it turns over from my understanding.
Then about the fourth try, it'll crank.
Yeah. That's strange there, buddy.
Yeah.
Normally it'd be the opposite, where the initial startup and have a hard time, then throughout the day to crank up every time. So that's a weird one. I would really love to see something like that, just out of curiosity.
Lisa says, how often should you do spark plugs? Change on a Hemi. Dealership told me every 30,000 miles. What do you think? 2013 Dodge Durango RT.
That doesn't sound right. Every 30,000 miles? No, that doesn't sound right. Let me look it up.
Why should he? I mean,
because that's
you Uber and Lyfting or something.
That's hella expensive. Yeah, because that's like 16 spark plugs. 13 Dodge Durango. I'm gonna look that up.
Meanwhile, while you look that up real quick, Vocabulary says he watching the playoffs. Who playing tonight? Because I really wanted to see the Commanders play again, but I might have missed that. I know is it the Steelers and the Ravens? Either way, I don't got a dog in the fight, honey. The Falcons done. They do what they do every year.
Here we go.
What did it say?
Wow, I guess
it's the dealership is.
Spark plugs typically need to be changed every 30,000 miles, but this can vary depending on the vehicle.
But it depends on what
the type of spark plug.
Yeah, the material.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you're using, I guess that's just the regular copper. Copper doesn't last long, but it's very good. It's a very good conductive. But if you're having to run in a platinum plug, you can go every 60,000 miles. Mm-hmm. If you're running an iridium plug, and I know that iridium lasts 100,000 miles. So it just depends on what material they're putting into the vehicle. I always recommend going back with the OE material, but in situations annoying like this, where it costs an arm and a leg to do a tune-up on that thing, because essentially, you literally paying for 2 V8 tune-ups in one engine. And I would do a plug material upgrade in a situation like this. I would ask them, hey, is it possible you can install platinum or iridium plugs so I can stretch these intervals out? So find out the material.
All right. He said, I appreciate you, bro. I'm a big fan. Thanks. Oh,
appreciate the love, man. I highly appreciate that.
Yes,
thank you, brother.
Yes, we do. Really. Lisa, I hope that Alex was able to answer your question and stuff. Let's go to Jay Smith. Hello from Rhode Island.
Ooh, Rhode Island.
Recently stumbled across your content and it's great.
Thank you.
Recently had my alternator failed on my B8.5 S4. Now tell us what that is for us.
S4. That's I don't know. It's nothing coming to the top of my head right now.
I got in there.
It sounds like an Audi or something. I don't know.
Let's see, honey. Good old Google will help us. And y'all got to know, listen. Snow day was declared on Thursday. We've been in the bed ever since then. Okay, this is our first human interaction.
We've been playing with the kids and spending time with them.
We've been watching movies and all kind of stuff. 5, 4. Let's see what that is.
Audi.
Okay, you said Audi. Okay. Says I got in there I found coolant all over the belts. I think it's the water pump.
Now, which one is the B4? B8.
8.5.
What year is that?
2013 to 16.
So the water pump on, if you have the 2-liter engine, the water pump
3-liter.
Oh, the B8.
The supercharger.
Okay, yeah, okay. It's not the 2-liter, it's the V6. I don't work on too many Audis anymore. I used to work on a lot of them, but I recently stopped. So excuse my Audi terms; they're a little rusty. Yeah, that it could definitely be the water pump. When I go in and do that, I'll make sure you change out all the little plastic bits, upgrade that stuff as well. Change out your hoses. Audi likes to use a lot of plastic stuff, which most modern day vehicles use. So that's no surprise there. But that's a very good engine that's in that vehicle, and it's definitely worth keeping. I like that engine actually over the 2-liter. The 2-liters are horrible to maintain, man. They just I don't recommend cars.
I will say this, let me clarify, because we got a lot of newer viewers that come onto the channel, and it's going to sound redundant to the people that's been with us for a while. He doesn't work on Audis and BMWs and Mercedes and Porsches because he can't. It be the customers.
The customers they're a handful, first of all, and then they come in expecting me to give them a major discount because of my mom and pop shop. I had a customer tell me this a long time ago.
Boogeyman?
Yep. It's like, don't stop working on Audis and whatnot.
And at the time, we didn't listen.
Nope, we didn't listen.
Shout out to you, Boogeyman. We fired.
So we just kept running into problems. And I figured this in my head. The Audi community, like the people who have high-end German cars, 9 times out of 10, they're going to take their car back to the dealership and pay ridiculous prices because they know what they got. Then once that car gets to a certain age, they pass it on down. And then you're going to get a person that, hey, they may like the car, they want to look good, but they don't know what they're getting themselves into. And they visit the dealership because, hey, I'm brand new to this car, and maybe I should take it to the dealership to take care of me. And they see those prices, and they be like, I've never paid this. Remind you now, they're coming out of a little Civic or some economy car equivalent and jumping up into a big boy. No matter what series you got, Audi is VW, it's all expensive in my opinion. And they price shock. They like, whoa, I'm going to take it to a mom and pop shop. Oh, here, Alex the car doctor, great views, very outstanding guy. Let me take it to him. What? Your price is right behind the dealership. Yeah, because I'm gonna give you quality work and give you quality parts. You can't play around when it comes to these vehicles. We had an issue. What was so that's why.
Remember we working on that Porsche. What part was that they didn't have aftermarket? Line up getting that black Porsche.
I remember it had to come from the dealership. It was something.
What was it?
It was a Panamera.
I know what kind, but the part. We done got it from everywhere, and I said, "Look, sir, we gonna have to get this from the dealership." And the price was like, "Oh."
I think it's something dealing with the evap system.
Either way, that's why he doesn't work on German cars. For the demographics that we serve, those people, Boogeyman said it. He said, stop working on Audis, you guys. I'm telling you, because if a person who got money, he ain't coming to no mom and pop. He going to the dealership.
Now, of course, this is not for everybody. So please, the people, do not take offense to this because I still service the people who listen to me. Yes. I still service a handful of, customers that have German cars.
Correct. So, all our customers that we still service, they understand, they know, but the ones they argue us up and down, it just
want to bring in used parts.
Yeah. Nope, we're not gonna do it. We just it's easier.
Oh, can you take the cheap route?
No. Yeah. So, but anyway, that was just a little
long drawn out thing.
Little explanation.
Explain.
We don't take in it because of the customers, not the car.
Love the car. We have several German vehicles.
Yeah, that's what we love.
I have a BMW equivalent, the Mini. Wife have an Audi equivalent, Jetta.
I still want that A7. I don't know what kind of car I want no more. I went from the doggone. I used to want the Durango SRT, but now I like the Trackhawk myself.
Trackhawk is nice.
But then I could see me in a Porsche. Okay.
Trackhawk is.
I don't know what I want. Then I like the A7
the
Audi.
power. You're gonna love the power of the Trackhawk.
I don't know. I got enough speeding tickets. Eduardo Gonzalez. He says, "How do you diagnose if you have a bad parking sensor or bad module?"
Parking sensor, you will have to look up a diagram and run tests. Of course, start with your scanner, because in your modern day car, your scanner will lead you to the area you need to test in. A module, again, you have to, what I do is when I'm testing modules, I look up the test procedures off of all data. I work on a wide variety of vehicles, and I don't know every test procedure. And I have software that walks me through the test procedures that I'm not familiar with. And it just give you basic step-by-step. Hey, probe here, you should be getting this. Probe there, you should be getting this when the key is on. Things like that. That's how you walk through diagnostic procedures. Just follow the process. Everything has a process. And of course, I have a mind full of processes and procedures, but that don't mean diddly squat if I've never came across one particular vehicle I've never worked on with that particular problem.
True. Yeah. That's the thing about being a shop that work across all brands.
Very hard.
Yeah, for sure. Joey Parton says, first of all, thank you for the super chat, Joey.
Yeah, thank you, Joey. I appreciate
says,
that.
Hey,
brother.
Alex, you was right. I put a new EGR pressure sensor in, like you said, and it worked.
Said that.
Alex don't be. Let me tell y'all something. Once we leave this live, he ain't gonna remember.
I don't remember saying that.
He said, and it worked wonderfully.
Yes.
Runs like new. It's my 2001 Ford Taurus 3.0.
Don't get rid of that car, please. That car was a tank.
Yeah.
For its day. Now, sorry for the people who got the 3-liter dual overhead cam one. That engine, very high maintenance, hard to maintain, very expensive to work on. But that 3-liter OHV overhead valve is, man, hands down, Ford did their thing with that.
They did their big one. And he says, much love.
Man, appreciate it, brother.
Thank you, Joey. Joey is another regular. We appreciate the support, really. Let's go here. Garage Monkey Mechanic says, any external maintenance is always cheaper than an internal repair.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great point.
No arguments there. Listen, y'all, I'm enhancing my clown of the week and my
we got a good one.
Good point of the view. What I'm gonna call it? Dang. POV of the week or something. I forget. Community POV of the week.
Yeah.
I'm enhancing
it. We might put his on.
Not somebody calling.
Somebody
It's our kid. It's our kid. But anyway, next question was 512 Justin 210 says, what does the car doctor think of the 06 Lincoln Navigator with the 5.4? And I'm smiling. Go, I'm gonna let you answer it.
Well,
what's up, son?
We've had several, 2 or 3 of these vehicles with that same engine in it. Yeah, we had 3 of those. We had a 05, 04. I think we had 3 or 2. 2. We had 2. Mm-hmm. Those engines have their downfalls, just like anything else. Back in the day, the downfall was known to be pretty bad, but in today's time, the downfall is a piece of cake. I'd rather deal with that downfall than pulling cylinder heads up and doing lifters. What else? Just weird issues, transmissions, and just the issues of newer day vehicles. The downfalls on these vehicles, the 3-valve Triton, they put them in everything, is the dang on timing set. And when you're going back in, you have to use the OE phasers. Yeah, you can play around with the aftermarket if you want to, but you're going to be doing it again. You have to go to the dealership and get their phasers. No one that I know of yet did a good job of cloning the dealership phasers, having it work successfully. I've tried, didn't work. So timing set with the new phasers, and certain years like to shoot spark plugs in oblivion. No big deal. You know you can put a thread insert in there, or um, certain years when you're doing a tune-up, the dang on spark plug head will break off into the cylinder head, and they sell special tools for it. It's really no biggie. But all in all, if those engines are properly maintained and taken care of, especially with oil changes, because when you let these engines sludge, the engine is done. If I open up one and it's got sludge in it, I simply very nicely put it back together, hand it back to the customer, say you need an engine. It's no sense of working on it after that. Yeah, you can fix the problem, but then something else is going to blow up on down the road because it's sludge. Can't let these engines sludge. So you have to maintain the oil. If you're planning on buying one, get you one of these cheap bore scope cameras off of eBay, Amazon, or whatever, TikTok shop. I don't care where you get it from. And shine that camera down in the oil thing and try to look for black sludgy stuff. You want that engine to be nice and clean in the inside. Top tip, and that's for every car. Now, granted, some vehicles you can't stick the camera down in the oil field because they have little baffle plates, and it just, you can't get it in there. But sludge is the number one killer of all engines, not just this one, but this one just don't like it at all. Yep. But yeah, I give it my stamp of approval. A lot of people would disagree with me. Yeah.
It's still a sore spot for me.
I know. We took
because
out.
He made me sell my truck.
We took hours.
So I don't be wanting to hear all that.
We took hours around the country. That's how.
And he made me sell it, Justin.
And they destroyed our truck. I can't.
Just
even
you know what? I can't even talk about this no more. I had a beautiful Lincoln Navigator.
I'll buy you another one.
He was like, "Oh, and I sell it." Yeah. Car ran great. Now
we need the van.
It looked like who did it and ran, literally. And
it's been wrecked several times. It looks awful.
It was beautiful, leather seats, everything I need to win. Now we got to ride around in this prison van when we go on vacation.
One of my employees said, "Oh, you look like a boss when you pull up in that thing." Oh, well,
that's what I'm saying.
It's too flashy. I don't like flashy stuff. Like Joey, I appreciate you.
He says, Joey says, "I love my car. I'll never get rid of my crap box." I know that's right, Joey.
Hey, I would call it a crap box, man.
Hey,
it's good. You gotta talk nice to your car. You need to go out there and repent to your car. Go out there and be like, "Baby, I love you. You're the most wonderful thing in this world."
The first person who I ever met to talk to their car, and I don't know, Auntie, if you still in here, is my auntie. She had this like little red car, and she would talk to her car.
You got to talk to these things. A lot of people don't know cars came from the earth. Yeah. Earth is a living thing with the trees, and that's the way I look at it.
So talking to it ain't too crazy if you can talk. They did that experiment where you talk. They had two plants. They talked positive to one, talked negative to the other plant. And the other plant they got the negative talk was dying. Mm-hmm. The other plant they got the positive talk was flourishing.
Words are powerful, good people. Going in this new year, I want all my family, online family, positive wording. None of this, man, no, that's too hard. I can't do this. I don't want to hear that, y'all. Well, I won't hear it, but I don't want y'all to be doing that. I want y'all to say, "Hey, I can." Positive thinking. Let's just give it a shot. All my YouTube family.
All right. Spoken from Alice, the car doctor. Let me be positive. I'm going to get a Cadillac Escalade V this year. I feel it.
That hurt my wallet, and it's all the way in the house. I feel it.
Dang, okay, let me bring it down.
It hurt me.
Hey, okay. I mean, I could bring it down a little bit because you're trying to buy a new building. Okay, I'm gonna think of something.
Help me, y'all. Help me.
It's just that. Okay, hold on. I'm a mother of 5, and sometimes I need to be riding the kids around. I'm not gonna drive that passenger van. That just ain't happening. That made me think of Black Church 1996, the church van, or like a little prison van, a little transport. I'm not doing it. Sometimes I need to take kids to the doctor. I need to be in an SUV.
You can pretend it's an SUV.
No, man.
I just close your eyes.
But I settle for the Lincoln Navigator. God, dog.
We do need to get some 4-wheel drive.
I need some where I could, I don't want no mom van. That ain't me.
I'm gonna get another project.
Anthony Glaspie says, I hope I said that right. 2018 Dodge Challenger GT. I need a tune-up. What does that consist of and how much?
GT. The Challengers, they kind of throw me off with the trim packet. It can say the GT but not have the Hemi. And it could be the Pentastar. What the GT comes with?
Let me see. Challenger GT.
Yeah, because the RT, the road and track, it has the Hemi for sure.
It's got the Pentastar.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? It's like GT, that gotta have the V8. No, it has the V6. In that one, it consists of pulling up the intake plenum. So you're gonna want to go with the new plenum gaskets because you upset those gaskets anytime you remove the plenum. Now, of course, this is just the right way to do things. A lot of people get away with not replacing the gaskets, but if it's coming out of my mouth, I'm gonna tell you the correct way. It consists of spark plugs with that vehicle. The correct brand of spark plugs, which is Champion, and the correct material for that make and model. I will also go as far as replacing the 3 coils that's under the intake manifold. The reason I say that because those vehicles have been known to go through some coils. And the last thing you want to do is have to take that intake back up just for a coil and you was already in there. So I would change out the 3 of those coils with NGK, really good quality coils, NGK coils, and keep your old coils because there's nothing wrong with them. Throw them in your glove box because the other 3, you can literally do them with your eyes closed on the other side. So one go out just to buy yourself some time. Oh, I got a coil that in my glove box or my trunk. Let me just slap one of these in and carry on my merry way, and I will replace it or don't. It's just the regular, the 3 other 2 coils. You get what I'm saying.
Now, as far as how much, that's not something we know off the top of our head. We use
labor guide.
Thank you. A labor guide that is on all the work computers at home and not here. So we can't.
Shop, not at home.
I mean, I'm tripping. At the shop. So it's not here at home.
But if I was to guess,
ballpark figure
between
coil packs expensive.
Yeah, they are between $400 to $800.
Yeah.
Ballpark figure.
Coil packs be $70-$80 by themselves.
Yeah, them coils is gonna be they're gonna run the bill up.
Yeah, for sure. If you choose to do them, if you don't, it'd be cheaper.
I would recommend doing the coils.
Yeah. Joy back. He said, I talk to my baby Goldilocks all the time.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Now, why did I know it would go? When you mentioned that car, I thought
Goldilocks. I love it. Thanks for the super chat, Joy.
Man, that was the color back then. Yeah. Gold. Oh, everybody had
I'll be naming all my cars too. I haven't named my Mini yet. I like my little Mini for some odd reason. I thought I wasn't gonna like that car before I started driving it because I drove Minis in the past, customers Minis, but when it's a customer, I'm never dogging their car out or flooring it for fun. If I do have to floor it, it's for a reason. I'm driving it with care and respect for the customer.
Oh, often for the customer, because driving with you in that car, we had to have a family meeting because my son told me, first of all,
I don't be trying to go fast in that car.
I was riding with him. I was like, wait a minute. Let me hold on him.
It's like driving a go-kart, man.
I said, hey, man, slow this thing down.
I don't be trying to go. I be 10% throttle. That thing be taking off. I'm like,
I'd be scared.
It only got 100. Do it feel like it got 100 horsepower?
I don't know, but it's dangerous. My son, I was riding with my son back from piano lessons. He was like, Daddy would take this curve. He was like, I don't know. I said, he was like,
takes curves.
Daddy be going way too fast.
No, I do not. it just feel that way because the car is small. But anyway,
he be driving the crap out of that Mini Cooper.
Trying to get their questions.
Retro. He said, I saw your video on the 3.6 Durango, and should I get the aluminum oil housing? Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. Do not go back plastic. I don't recommend that. The ones that I've done aluminum housings on have never had an issue. Now, what you want to do is use OE sensors. I've had problems with some of the sensors that came off of that comes with the housings. Depending on where you get them from, sometimes they come with sensors. Sometimes when you get them, they won't come with sensors, and you have to switch your old ones over, which is recommended. But sometimes the old ones get stuck. You go to twist it off with proper tools, and it's got like a metal bronze piece, whatever material is like plastic welded into the plastic housing. So when you go to break it loose, the plastic just be spinning and it gets stuck in the old one, and you have to buy a new one. Do not go aftermarket. Go straight to the dealership, get that sensor if you can't get it out. So that's just my tip on that.
All right, Retro.
It's two sensors. It's oil pressure and a coolant temp sensor back there.
All right. Joe Harris, 2020 Kia Stinger GT2.
Ooh, I like them Stingers.
71,000. Sit in the car idling for maybe 10 minutes. Get out of the car and start an hour later. There is a puff of white smoke.
That's not good.
Now, I thought them Stingers was actually.
I thought they were too.
Jeez Louise.
Now, sometimes white smoke can be normal depending on the climate. If it's very humid outside, like in Georgia in the summer months, it'd be humid. You'll get condensation, that type of slight white smoke, but not really. So you need to just check around your area, try to watch somebody else start their car up and see if you're seeing the same thing. If not, then the car is probably consuming oil and you have something defective in the engine, which is Kia. They're known for doing defective stuff dealing with their engines. So I wouldn't be surprised. The car probably wasn't broken in properly. Break-in procedures is still a real thing in the automotive world. It's an engine. I know back in the day, break-in procedures was a must. You have to break in your car, and everybody knew that. But now these days, nobody know about break-in procedures. They get a car straight off the lot, and they go ham on it. And when you do that, the car just don't seat right. You start messing up rings, and it just won't be right after that, and you'll start running into oil consumption issues on down the road.
Okay. Dang, but this is the first time I've seen anybody have a problem with a Stinger.
Yeah, those Stingers are normally pretty stout.
Yeah, the only Kia I would buy. Then y'all got those Brembo brakes.
Yeah, they hot.
Yeah, for sure.
And they fast too.
Garage Monkey Mechanic says, might be something with the fuse block on that Porsche, but yeah, ain't gonna be able to figure that out without seeing it in person. Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Garage Monkey Mechanic.
That.
And I want to say this, going back to you, thank you to all the real mechanics too. It's very hard to say who our target market actually is. And, that's something that we've been discussing all year long. So far, who do we make videos for? And it's not for the seasoned technician, even though you guys watch our channel too. We appreciate that.
Very much appreciate it, because y'all give great feedback. I'm never going to claim to know everything.
For sure. But we make videos for the common average consumer who knows diddly squat or not too much about cars, and the aspiring mechanics. And we always appreciate it when other mechanics chime in and offer their expertise or 2 cents, because not one mechanic has seen it all. So we can't make absolute statements. You see what I'm saying? Like with the Stinger, I can't say, well, dang, man, now Stingers, they don't have no problems. I don't know that because we don't work on them. But Garage Monkey Mechanic, like, man, that's all I work on all day. So different mechanics around the nation is going to see and experience different things. Climate and things contribute to things happen differently with cars. So
that's exactly what I'm about to say. Climbing.
Yeah, the
my
weather
wife knows.
Yeah. So somebody up in Missouri may experience different car issues that we might see here in Georgia. So we just want to come on here and say that I appreciate it when you guys come in and offer feedback that we may or may not know, for the viewers that's watching, that's here, that want to learn more about their cars, because it's all about giving back to you guys at the end of the day. So
it's a family. This is
For
what
sure.
family do for each other.
So thank you, Garage Monkey, and others like Hi John, and it's a lot of guys in here that come in here and show up. Thank you. CD says, also, I lowered the car. Wait a minute, CD. You said also. What was the first?
I don't recall. There you go.
Oh, I'm in the wrong space. My bad, CD. Hold on. I ain't got to you yet.
Skip somebody.
I'm on Jamua. He says, hey, y'all, I asked y'all last stream, but can you tell me y'all experience with Manheim and other car auctions? I started as a parts installer position at Manheim, and I'm excited to start with them.
Listen, Manheim, you don't want to know my opinion.
No, I feel like your opinion has expired, and I feel like we should give them another try. So back in the day when I used to shop with Manheim, I did not like them because from a dealer-seller standpoint.
A small dealer-seller standpoint.
Yeah, I just felt like I'm running great cars through and they're not selling, but then I see a POS run through and it's selling. So I don't know if they got the game rigged.
What drugs they got in here?
Yeah, so I don't know, but I haven't purchased from them in a long time, but Manheim is pretty big. Like Manheim, they okay in my book. My suggestion to you is try it out, and if you're excited about it, brother, be excited and go and fill it out and see what you think, you know. As for other auctions, I've kind of gotten away from shopping at traditional auctions. I like Open Lane. That's my favorite auction right now. However, with my new business venture, I'm getting ready to re-sign up for Manheim and Auto Nation and all of those. So my advice to you, honey, is go on and start and be excited and see where it takes you.
And don't let nobody take that excitement.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's my advice to you.
Sometimes.
Now, last week, we probably said we hated it, but that ain't a good answer to give you.
No, I don't think so. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead and start. How about you come back and tell me what's going on around there? How about that?
You encourage us.
Right. Let me know.
Bill Gates, my favorite.
He says, hi, Alex. Do you prefer a cranking compression test or an engine running compression test? If you see that a cylinder is low, do you always do a wet test or do you usually skip that?
Great question, Bill Gates. He always has some great questions. Bill Gates remind me of somebody like me. He thinks outside the box. And it's nothing wrong with thinking outside the box. Now, a cranking compression test is you have to have a oscilloscope, I forget the gauge for it, a graph gauge, and basically you look at the voltage of the starter, and every time the engine cranks over, it hit a compression stroke, and the starter drops. It's like that's where you get that choo 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 choo, and every time you get that choo 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 choo, you'll see on the graph, and it picks up. But let's say one of the cylinders are low. And this is on a cranking compression test. Let's say one of the cylinders are low. It's going to spike. All the rest of them is going to be down here, nice and even. Then you're going to get that spike in speed. It's not going to be much resistance on the starter. That's why when you have no compression, the engine sounds like a sewing machine when you turn it over. Like, Now, I know my noise is a little funny and off, but
give it to us again.
Like,
there you go. Give them that real noise.
There is no compression. Now back to the other one. That was a cranking one. A running compression test. I'm assuming you're talking about just a regular compression test when you're screwing the thing in. It's not recommended to run the engine during a compression test. Have I done it? Yeah, but it becomes not very accurate. The proper way to do the compression test is take out all the spark plugs. That way the engine can spin over very freely and get a lot of speed to, pressurize your gauge, and then open up the throttle floor of the vehicle. Open up the throttle blade and full amount of air in to get the best the reading. Now you should be, if the readings are not where you like them to be, just doing the initial test, then you can try adding like a little bit of oil in there to do a wet compression test. And that will tell you, I forgot what that would tell you, a wet compression test. Somebody chime in. I forgot. I'm sorry. But hopefully that helps.
I'm gonna say you were going for a little
bit. Yeah, the wet compression test. If I lost it after that.
Ryan S. Fuel pump, maybe
something about the rings. You have bad compression rings or something if you put oil in it. I forget, but somebody else is gonna chime in hopefully and let me know.
All right, Ryan S. is fuel pump, maybe he's talking about maybe the Porsche.
Cayenne.
Yeah. All right, CD says, I am adding a quart of oil every 400 to 500 miles on average on my 09 BMW E90 328 with, you notice how German people always name like the engine specifics?
Because my Mini is the R50 something 50,
but every time
then we have a 52, which is the supercharger or something like that. It's got
get a Euro comment or something, they be naming it. But anyway, it says got 142,000 miles, but no oil going on the ground. What is most likely the cause of this? Wait a minute, he got a part 2 that I actually read. Also, I lowered the car on lowering springs, and the rear tires are going bald on the inside fast. Tried to get a 4-wheel alignment done, but the before and after specs were roughly the same.
Something is going on with the alignment shop. They don't know what they're doing, because if they align it properly, and I get a second opinion on the alignment shop. Now, to your oil question, is that the one that's turbocharged? I'm not sure, but you could have several things going on to consume oil in a vehicle. Your crankcase ventilation system may be off, like your PCV valve. With German vehicles, they like to integrate it inside valve covers and weird things like that. So check your PCV system. If it's turbocharged, you could be losing oil through your turbo system. Your seal is letting oil pass through into the compressor, the pressure side of things, and causing issues. Or the worst case of worse is your oil, the oil rings are not doing their job, and now you're burning oil because your oil rings are not pushing the oil back down to the bottom, and instead it's letting oil inside the combustion chamber and you're consuming it. So those are the couple of things that it could be. Yeah.
All right. Did you address the tires going bald?
Yeah, I'll get a second opinion on the alignment shop. Take it to another alignment shop for a second opinion.
Doesn't it? Some machines can't handle the lowered cars.
Yeah, lower cars, not necessarily. It's I forget.
Okay, Josh from the Car Wash channel says he can't complain. His Subaru has 226,000 miles. Yeah, go on and replace them.
Yeah, 200K. Somebody got mad at me because it wrote me a bad review. I never forget this.
Oh my god! Wait a minute.
That joke was funny. I don't care. It was just funny. Like, okay, I thought I was the professional. I'm giving you good advice. I'm not gonna play games with your car. But anyway, she came into the shop and I was like, you need a catalytic converter. I think she's already done a tune-up or something. Car had like 200,000 miles on it. So I was like, yeah, need a catalytic converter. This car has met its lifespan. Been there, done that, trying to revive catalytic converters that your same engine, same everything, with 130,000, 140, and here you are in the 200,000s. I'm not gonna play games with it. So I'm like, you need a cat. So I guess she got mad and didn't like the price and wrote a bad review. Oh, he didn't even offer me the fuel induction service. He didn't even try. something.
We diagnosed it too quick.
Yeah, he didn't take long to look at it. Well, if you know how to look at live data, ma'am, it's nothing to look at and see your cat is shot. It's not doing anything.
Right.
So I just thought that was funny.
So she wrote a 1-star review for that. And I'm like, listen, we don't care. You know what I mean? Like, in our hearts, we know. God knows. When we go up to that shop, we do our very best with integrity, love, kindness, you know. However, you cannot please everybody. And then everybody's not going to like you. Okay? We know this. So, you know, that's just part of business. That's part of being on the internet. People will take what she saw a short of him doing a fuel induction on a car that could possibly save the catalytic converter on that car for that circumstance, and felt like we didn't offer that to her. So we're scams and crooks. And by the way, her cat had to come from the dealership because GM cats and aftermarket don't mix right now. So she said that, and I'm just like, look, man, lady, all right, go get ripped off by somebody else then. If you want to let them take your money. But in 2025, we heavy on the, hey man, screw these people. Okay, you do what you do what you love. You can't please everybody. If you don't like the work we do, then you're not our customer. It's simple. There are a million shops. Go to them. If you don't like the videos we make, then you're not a part of the target market. It's simple, you know. So anyway, Josh, yes, get that catalytic converter done.
You got some miles on
He said, I still love my car. It's my baby. It's been through a lot with me. Subaru is near and dear to my heart. I had met Alex. Listen, I'm from the hood. Like, I ain't never seen no Subaru before in my life. He comes get me on our first date. He got a 92 Subaru Legacy. I was like, ew, he drive a station wagon? Like, what's going on?
She's talking about some. I almost didn't date him because he drive
I really didn't.
Wagon.
I was like... I was like, what is this? Subaru? What is this?
That Subaru was cool.
Yes,
it had a height button and it raised it extra 2 inches off the ground when you get it.
See, Subaru was not as popular as it is now, especially around the Atlanta area. I imagine that it was more popular up north, but his daddy was one of the first ones in that small Atlanta neighborhood to have a Subaru.
Yeah, no one had a Subaru, and for the longest time,
many years,
we was the only one that had a Subaru driving around.
Now you go up through there,
nothing but Subarus.
Nothing but Subarus. Then demographically, people who drive Subarus in Atlanta were Emory graduates, you know, lawyers, doctors, you know. Demographically now, I ain't never seen more black people drive Subarus than I do now. I was right. I was like, ooh, that's a nice Outback. I was like, what? That's a brother driving that. Okay. We catching on. We is catching on, okay? Oh, man, that's funny. But, yeah, everybody's catching on to the Subaru thing now. All right. Did I get this one? Garage Monkey said, yeah, we said that. We got that one. Steve Del Moore says, had my passenger side CV axle replaced on my 2013 Chrysler 200. Now my traction control icon is on. I've tried to reset it, but I'm not sure of what else could be the reason why it's showing.
They either damaged your speed sensor by not being careful, or we snagged a wire, but most likely something is not right. But normally it won't just be a traction control light. It'll be an ABS light followed by a traction control light. So is the ABS light is on? But if the ABS light is on, yeah, it's definitely the broken speed sensor or something dealing with the speed sensor. Because if you're not careful, I always train my guys to play it safe. Always remove the ABS wheel speed sensor and just put it off to the side, because sometimes you just never know. Sometimes where they put it, if you remove that drive shaft, it completely shears the ABS speed sensor. And, you know, if you're not paying attention, you put that stuff back together and you're going to have some type of warning light dealing with traction control problems. Also, the car's alignment could be off. If it's just the traction control light, if something is off alignment-wise, the car is going to sense that and shut down traction control. I've seen that happen before. So your alignment have to be proper. Dealing with the steering wheel angle. So if your steering wheel is like cocked a little bit, pointing 1 o'clock, and you're traveling straight down the road, you won't have traction control. The car will shut it off because it relies on the steering wheel angle sensor for traction control and other things.
Okay.
So hopefully that helps.
Yeah, Steve, hopefully. J Skills 184 says, can a scanning tool detect a bad fuse?
I've never seen one do so. That would be pretty cool if it could. Now, what it can detect a problem in a specific area dealing with whatever, and well, then it's up to a mechanic to be like, hey, why is this part not getting power that's triggering this code? And that's when you look up a diagram and be like, there's a fuse in here. Let me go check that. And blown fuse. So in a way, is it possible to detect a blown fuse with a scan tool, depending on how you look at it? Yeah, and yeah. But as a good mechanic, the first lesson of any type of wiring issue, always check blown fuses. So if you get a code for, let me say something stupid, ABS pump in op or something, check the fuse for that ABS pump or whatever. Or, just leave it at that.
Austin Salway, hope all is well. Love all the content you put out.
I appreciate that, Austin.
Thank you for the super actually chat. Trying to incorporate more sit-down videos like this.
I like the lunch lives.
Yeah, we're trying to incorporate that too. It's tough.
I'm messing up.
I know, because you keep on rubbing it over there. But yeah, for sure. Thank you, Austin, for the super chat. TBT1 says, I wish there were more mechanics like you.
Oh, thank you, man.
Listen,
thank you.
There are a lot.
They're not on social media.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say there are some pretty good mechanics out there. They just not online. And unfortunately, to survive in this business now, you got to be on the internet. A lot of shops were slow this past December, but we did okay. Like, we did actually better than last December. So there's some pretty good, decent mechanics out there now. Does it match how many shops there are out there? No. Unfortunately not, So I'm not sure what's going to happen in the industry soon, because a lot of the good mechanics, because they weren't paid what they're worth, they're just getting tired of getting crappy pay, because the pay situation with the mechanic world is a little
iffy.
Yeah. They're leaving and going and working for jobs like John Deere and Caterpillar, where they're getting hourly pay, stellar benefits and stuff. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the good mechanics, and not to mention they don't want to deal with the crazy customers, they go and find jobs and fleet work and stuff like that where they don't have to deal with customers. They're getting great pay. UPS, they're getting their top dollar getting ready to be $53 an hour.
About 40.
No, they're at like 50 now. So, and then peak season time and a half. So why as a mechanic, why would you stay in a shop? You have to deal with customers and a-hole bosses. A lot of the good ones
trying to make flat rate time.
Yeah.
No work coming through, and
it's tough.
And doggone politics at the shop.
Yep.
The doggone service writer banging the mechanic, and of course he getting all the gravy work.
That's
and
true story.
Weird stuff.
That happened at Subaru. Sure did.
And I had to kiss his ass to I feel humiliated. Like, this is not me. I don't do this. But I need to feed my family, so I'm gonna do what I need to do. Yes. I'm not gonna mention his name. Yes, Jay. I do whatever. Yeah. Just to get a job, ticket, please.
Yeah. So it's like
horrible.
Listen, while there are some crazy, crappy mechanics out there that don't know what they're doing, a lot of them have left the industry to get better situations and opportunities for their family. Now, what does that mean for the consumer? As a business owner, I'm telling you, in order for me to retain talent, I have to pay them top dollar. We cannot keep paying mechanics $20 an hour because they can get that at Amazon. They can get that at McDonald's. A Starbucks person, barista, makes $18 an hour. So why would I pay my mechanic around that much? I have to pay them more for them to stay in the industry and make a living for their family. So what does that mean? The cost of auto repair is going up. One, shops are far and few. Good shops are far and few in between. 2, we have to stay competitive employment-wise. 3, supply and demand. There's a lot of demand for reputable shops, but there's not a lot of supply. So that's just a little tidbit for you guys to look at going forward. Because as an employer, hey, it's time for me to give my guys raises if I want them to stay, or do I keep hiring noobs? So anyway, I know that was long-winded, but
Good information.
I feel like you guys need to know this
because we study this stuff.
Yeah.
Day in and day out.
I study my industry, and I try to make sure that my
Correction.
guys.
My wife studies this stuff.
But I be telling him though.
Yes, she does. we
make sure that the guys are paid properly because I want them to stay, and I need to be competitive with McDonald's and Starbucks. Why would he stay $7 and get $18 an hour with me doing oil changes and whatever? And I don't do flat rate. I pay them hourly plus commission if they're productive, But I have to be competitive. We have to be competitive as an industry. So just in the future, keep your eye out for a leap in costs in auto repair because a lot of people leaving the industry. So
even McDonald's going up.
Yeah,
man, that's
ain't Big Mac $10 meal, man. Anyway, garage
$5. Dang.
Garage Monkey Mechanics is helping out Steve. He said, did they plug in or put the sensor back in? Is it the right axle?
Dang, I forgot about that.
Go ahead then.
That axle. If it don't have that reluctor wheel or if it's damaged, man, Steve, you the bomb, man. No.
Yeah. Garage Monkey Dev. Steve, you the bomb too, baby. Go ahead and take back. Be like, hey, my stuff back on. Josh, thank you for the super chat. He says, I'm wearing your hoodie. You got me. Thank you again.
Nice.
I saw you in your live with the hoodie. You look good.
We watch him on the back end.
Yeah. I saw like, look at my boy Josh looking all good in his Alex the Car Doctor hoodie.
Josh is a great supporter of mine. We love you, Josh.
Yes, we do. Alonzo Johnson says no snow in Selma. Oh, you guys can get to have fun.
Oh, man.
But I think Alabama did get snow. I don't know. Somebody chime in. All right. Sarah Grant says, hello, Alex. Hello, Dr. Alex. I just found your channel. Enjoy watching you and your wife.
Nice.
Learned a lot from you. Thanks.
Well, thank you for watching and the support that you give online.
I'd like to think that my presence is bringing in the women. Come on, ladies. Come on to the community. We want you. Okay? I want you. Because when we started, we was 99.9% men. So it's good to see the ladies checking in. All right, Jay. He says, at 170,000 sealed transmission, should I ask the mechanic to check the levels if it has never been checked? No. Amco refused to check. Yeah,
they're doing the right thing.
And said I should just invest in a new transmission.
I will agree with Amco on that one.
Not if your transmission ain't bad.
Well, okay, let me clear it up. What I would do is get me an emergency fund for a transmission if you plan on keeping that car. Almost 200,000 miles, no transmission history. Ooh, that's a little scary. Don't touch it because if you start touching it now, it's going to go out potentially. Or you may get lucky, but I wouldn't play Russian roulette with my transmission. You have 2 options. 3 options. Throw some Lucas in that bad boy to renew the worn out fluid because it does say that on the bottle. And I am a big Lucas guy. I trust in Lucas products. I've seen it do amazing things. I dumped some Lucas in that to buy myself even more time with that transmission. Second, I would be, if you're tired of the car, or I would get rid of it now before it started having transmission issues. Or the other option would be just ride it to it, give out. If you don't want to be in a give out situation, just start putting money to the side and get a brand new reman transmission with a great warranty and be done with it. Those are the options.
Okay. Trevor, Washington says, hi, Alex, the car doctor and Mrs. Car Doctor. Hey,
howdy. Good
I know that name. Good to see you doing okay. Happy New Year, if I ain't told you. Courtney Green. Hey, that's the POV of the week last week. He had a good point of view.
Oh, yeah. Wonderful.
He said, hey, y'all. Cheers, you two. Just finished my DIY tie rod ends. 04 Avalanche. Was a little shaky.
Did you get it fixed? Hopefully you did.
Knowing him.
Yeah.
And his smartness, he did.
Definitely.
Michael, he says, I haven't seen if any Volvo or if any, Volvos or Ford years, 99 through 2012. Do you ever practice or get any of the beloved XC90s, 3.2 or V8? Love the material, a lot to learn from an obvious experienced technician.
I dibble and dabble in Volvos here and there. I don't do much of them to be like know a lot about them or their issues. I do service maybe under a handful of them. My auntie, I can't say. Um, we just had a family member that got a Volvo and they love it. Um, so make sure that was good. But Volvos, in my opinion, I will put my daughter in a Volvo. As forward goes, I just don't do Volvos because it goes back to that
Well, not only that,
demographics.
demographically, people
It's
don't.
not in our area
Not over
either.
here, yeah.
So we don't even see a lot of Volvos.
Right.
First
Yeah.
off, and if I did, I probably wouldn't work on them because it's when it comes to Volvos, you have to have great parts. Can't play around. It's just like having a BMW, in my opinion. Now with Fords, yeah, I can do better with putting Ford content on my channel. I do get Fords in every now and then. These days, Ford has been taking me by surprise. Like, oh my gosh, Ford has been on point, man.
My favorite car is the Ford Fusion.
Oh man, yes, that dang on Fusion, the Confusion, the Tauruses, they're stout, man. We had a Fusion that came in. The customer actually listened to me. Of course, I hate to tell anybody this, but when it comes down to you've had this car ever since, I think what she told me, she bought the car like 70, 80,000 miles. And back in 16, I don't know, whenever she bought the car. Now it's finally giving her issues and she had to get it towed to the shop. Guess how many miles that car had on it? After she's saying, car really never gave me no problems. And it just all hit her at one time. But she was like, besides the oil leak, 300,000 miles on this Ford Fusion. And she took good care of the car. Well, she tried to. She did her best. When it came to me, I crunk it up, getting ready to pull into the shop, diagnosing it. It started doing funny stuff and just stopped pulling. I'm like, okay, I know what this is. I need a transmission, especially with the miles. But now I'm in the middle of the road, and the car ain't going nowhere. Let me turn it off and crank it back up. Turn it off, dang on starter, stop engaging the engine. Yeah. So it just sit there, you just hit a starter, but it wasn't coming out and engaging the engine to turn it over.
But 300,000 miles, and that's not Toyota, Honda.
And pop the hood, the vacuum pump is just pouring oil. So I told the lady,
she had all kind of problems.
Yeah, I was like, lady, I hate to tell you this, but the time is now. If you're gonna invest in this car, it's gonna start costing you a lot more money on down the road. And these just the three items that I just seen just out the average, just by briefly looking at it. I was like, right now is the perfect opportunity to get rid of it. You have so many issues. It's gonna cost you thousands to get this car brought up to speed. And frankly, you don't got your money's worth out of this car. I don't see too many on 300,000 miles on without any major stuff been done to it. So, pretty impressive.
But if we were to do Volvo content, we would have to go up to north, like Dunwoody, up there. Nothing but Volvos and European cars and stuff like that. 305 Chevy Boys P says, what causes tires to wear down on the passenger side front tire? I jacked it up and rocked the wheel at 6 in it. I don't know. And it was shaking. I wonder if it's the upper control arm. So at 6, I think he mean like clockwise, like that. Yeah.
Definitely ball joints, tie rod ends, under inflation, over inflation. A lot can wear down tires. Improper alignments, alterations to your suspension, like extreme camber angles. So that's obvious. A lot bad shocks. The list can go on and on and on.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely start. It sounds like you have an old school car. I would definitely, if it's like
Where
a
you get
G
that? Where
body,
you get that from?
305 Chevy
That's just the
boys.
name of his.
No, 305 is a 5.0
I
small
understand.
block Chevy.
I understand, but that's just the name of his YouTube channel. You don't know what kind of car he talking about.
Like he got a Chrysler.
Babe, that's just like you putting a picture of your Cutlass. That's not your daily driver.
Whatever car you got.
What kind of car you talking about? Put it in the chat right now.
He drive old school. I know he got an old school. He like me.
No, put it in the chat what you referring to, 305. I'm going to scroll down in a minute. Michael is from the Boston suburbs, I presume.
Nice.
Never been. Would like to come. Not in the winter, though. Pound for pound beast, he says.
I like that.
What's your thought on the 3.5 with the internal water pump that comes in Explorers?
The engine by far is very good. They put it in a lot of vehicles. We're talking about the sedans too, the larger size sedans. That engine would take you 200,000-300,000 miles with no problem. The Achilles heel on that engine is the internal water pump. That's the only bad thing about that engine, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Very good engine.
Gotta do time chain or something too.
Yeah, well, yeah. Of course, if you go in there, you're gonna want to do the timing chain. So, I would take that issue over internal engine parts and transmission premature failures and things like that. That's a good issue to accept in the modern day vehicle world. So you just need to be prepared to put yourself about 1,500 to 2 stacks aside, because that's what it's going to cost to do that timing belt and water pump. Mm-hmm. Don't let them do just the water pump. Do that timing belt to timing chain also.
It's the same labor. You don't want to pay it twice. Mm-hmm. Ozzy Lopez, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you, Ozzy.
He said, if I bought the cheapest battery and had all my fluids full and good, would my car still turn off in 20-degree weather or colder?
Well, in my experience with cheap batteries, you can't let them sit. But if you just bought the battery and the battery should perform. Now we're talking about a new battery, new cheap battery. The battery should perform. You have what you call cold cranking amps. And as long as that's the correct battery for that said car, you shouldn't be the battery fault, especially after you just replaced it. Now, if the car is turning off, you may have another issue at hand. See if you can drop to the bottom. Could you elaborate on cutting off? Maybe when what's going on? You're cranking it up and it shut right back off. You're driving down the road and it just die on you. Could you elaborate a little bit and what happens when you try to start it back up? Does it start back up and run fine? Mr. Lopez, drop down at the bottom and I'm going to try to catch you.
Okay. Oh, Hot Rod Rico said the 305 is Miami. See? Why everything ain't about cars all the time? He could have been 305 Chevy, boy. That makes sense. Thank you, Hot Rod Rico.
305. That's like what's the Spanish dude?
Pitbull.
Yeah.
This is 305.
Did he say something like that in his song?
But all the Miami people do. Thank you, Hot Rod Rico. This man talking about a small block Chevy and all this other stuff, honey. This man from Miami, Florida.
I went left field with that one. Did Lopez did he?
Ozzy, I don't see you in the chat, baby. Let me see.
I'll have to move on.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'll try to catch you. I'll check you on you again. All right, Michael Gosmer. Let me make sure that's the right where I am. Yeah, because pound for pound piece was that. He says, "Great channel, Alex. Love when you two go live. Aw, I'm working on my 2000 Ford F-250, 167,000 miles. Misfires everywhere doing the intake manifold due to coolant leaking in the plug wells."
You you have to change that. The intake manifolds was bad for back in the day. They have a dormant upgraded intake manifold that I would just replace, because I think on that one some crossover pipe thingy cracks or gets brittle, something happens. And I think the dormant is aluminum because you have the early model year 2000. Uh, yeah. And I will also change those plastic fittings on the back firewall that's going to your heater core. They will give issues too. So go in with those, the new plastic fittings, or just change the lines in general because they'll start seeping coolant and they'll drip right into the spark plug wells and cause misfires. So while you're in there, it's just easier because if you're going to remove the intake, it just makes it even more easier to get to those coolant lines.
Alrighty. And I thought I just saw him with another comment. He says, any tips on cleaning out corrosion out of a well? Can CLR work?
I guess that's that spray stuff.
Don't they use that in the plumbing?
No, CLR is a brand. It's like corrosion. Yeah, it could. Anything that helps with corrosion in the wells. Let it soak in there, I would say. Yes. WD, calcium, lime, rust.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, anything that helps with that type of stuff, just let it soak in there. Make sure it's safe on aluminum safe. Because now we're talking about plumbing stuff.
Yeah, that's the
only time. But they also sell automotive grade stuff too. You can spray like WD-40 in there and let it sit.
What about PB Blaster?
Yeah, you can do that too. And take a little brush and try to get down in there like a toothbrush or something. Scrub a dub. Then you will want to either blow it out or get a vacuum cleaner and suck it up out of a wet vac because you don't want that flooding the spark plug wells. You don't want to flood the cylinders, I'm sorry, because you got to get it out. And it wouldn't be wise to open up the spark plug and let it drain into the cylinder. If you do, no worry, I got you. All you need to do is leave the spark plug out and crank over the engine, and the engine will push the excess out. Now, if you don't do that, you can't hydro lock your engine. But on one cylinder, you most likely going to bend a rod or something or do serious damage. So you don't want to leave compressible materials inside the combustion chamber.
Ellenwood Dumpsters says 2006 F-150 100.
Compressible? Yeah, you can't compress it. Whatever. Liquid can't be compressed.
2006 F-150, 186,000 miles. I have the ticking from the engine. From your experience, what do you think it may be?
Let's see. I would check exhaust leaks first because exhaust leaks has been known to mimic lifter tick, especially with F-150s. I've seen times where the manifold bolts will break due to rust or just age, just pop off and cause ticking. If the ticking dissipates after the vehicle warms up or gets lower, then definitely exhaust. But that F-150, I think it had valve lash adjusters, or I call them lifters. I call them lash adjusters, whatever you want to call them. They've been known to give out as well, but I will start with exhaust.
All right. And he says, much love and respect from Ellenwood.
Oh, he right around the corner.
Ellenwood area. Ellenwood, we was thinking about a lot of things getting ready to change in the next 3 years or less.
Nice.
We're getting ready to move the shop, which is a big thing that's going to take a lot of faith for us to do. And right after that, I'm ready to move from this house. We've been in here for going on 15. This year will make 15 years we've been living here.
Jeez.
And when we bought this house, we had one baby. Now we got 5, and a cat and a dog.
As soon as we moved in, we had to go to the emergency room. We were sitting in our room. And,
remember that?
I heard my daughter, oh no.
She was like 2. We going there. She done stuck a bead up her nose. Oh, God. Paramedics came. They said, you're going to take her to the children's hospital. So we've been in this house a long time. But anyway, Ellenwood is on my list.
My daughter almost 18.
That baby is about to be 18 years old in a few months. So it's time for us to move.
All my kids don't grew up in this house.
Yeah. I'm ready to go, honey, because we is on top of each other in here.
Kids tearing up stuff left and right.
I need my space. So Ellenwood is on my list anyway. That's why whole reason why we bought that up. So I don't know. We might be neighbors. You see me at the store, say what's up. All right, Ditto Elevated YT says my car keeps running out my battery when it's parked for a day or two.
I've seen issues where your radio is defective and it will cause a battery drain. Most of the time it's your radio, but it could be other electrical related items. What I would suggest is jumping inside your car, pretend you're closing the door and going into your house, but you're staying in it. You turn your car off, open, close the door in a quiet place, and just sit in your car and listen. You're listening out for any buzzing, clicking, ticking, any type of electrical buzzing noise. That's the only thing I can think of. If you don't hear anything, then the next step would be, of course, if you're a DIY person, I'm talking to you as if you're a DIY person. The next step would be find your radio fuse. Go ahead and yank that out. Now, without the correct tools and the correct procedures, this way it could take a while. So you take the radio fuse out and just wait. In the morning, if it doesn't start, well, you know that wasn't the problem. Put the fuse back in and try another fuse. It could be, let's see, what else can stay on. I can't think of nothing off the top of my head, but try things that you can think that can stay on, like maybe an amplifier fuse, because some cars have amplifiers. It could be something with the HVAC fuse. It could be something with the interior lighting. But when you're doing the sit-in check, make sure it's dark, because you're also going to be looking out for any lights that's left on. And in the daytime, you're not going to be able to see anything. So that's kind of a way you can check it yourself. Now, in a professional world, we're going to be checking for voltage. Every car pulls voltage. Every car is supposed to pull on average 50 milliamps. The computer will constantly pull power to remember. Your car's computer got a memory, and it needs battery voltage to remember things. So it pulls about 50 milliamps. That's not much. So anything above about 50 milliamps, like 100 milliamps, 200 milliamps, will cause a battery drain overnight. And I hook up my little machine and I pull fuses and looking for a drop. So that's how I do it.
Okay. Well, Brian in Orlando says, "Did you sell that Kia? Sell."
Nah.
Man, listen, Brian.
I think he bought something. He wasn't patient.
Right. I'm gonna put it out on the platform for 1 month, Brian.
We'll see how it do.
See how I do. I just gotta try it, and then if it ain't talking about, then I'm gonna sell it.
I think it's gonna be talking about something. We're gonna keep y'all posted.
Charles Mojica. I hope it's Spanish because the J make a sound. He says, "Thanks to you, I started my own shop." Say what?
Nice.
Licensed and insured.
I love to hear that, man.
And also, I don't touch Audis, BMWs, or Mercedes because of those same issues. Customers want to ride good, but go crazy when the parts are too much. Yes. I'm glad that you know that up front and early.
That's what I'm talking about.
Man, much success to you and your business.
You make sure if you need anything, you reach out to me, man. Yes. I'll be glad to help you. We'll be glad to help.
Well, listen, not to be too pushy, but we love to see some content on that channel.
Hey.
Can we see something? Art by Surge. Thank you for the super chat.
You. I appreciate
and Art
the support.
S, he says, change my transmission fluid. It's 2 super chats. Thank you. Yeah. On my Tundra at 115,000 miles, and now at 140,000 miles on my last oil change, they told me to change. Should I change? Yeah, you about 5,000 more miles in this dude.
Yeah, it won't hurt. Because I recommended every like 30,000 miles, and you'll be on track. Because if you did a drain and fill, which I recommend, the next best interval will get the rest of the dirt and crap out. So yes, I would definitely change. You're about 30,000 miles, almost there.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because what a lot of people do, Hondas, the newer Hondas, like 14, 15, 16, around that era, was having problems with their transmissions. And what people realized they needed to do was change their fluid. So they'll change their fluid, drive it around. It does something funny, I forget. And of course, they probably haven't been keeping up with their fluid changes. If they did, they wouldn't be having these issues. But most of the time, the customers just bought the vehicle, so they don't know. But they'll be feeling something weird. So changing the fluid, then driving around maybe a couple of thousand miles, then change it again, then the issue will go away. So that's the fix for Honda quirky transmission issue.
Okay, cool. Let me see that now.
Man, that is wonderful.
For real, Charles. We're so proud of you. For real. All right, wait a minute. Let me see who I missed. Okay, Souls 2400. That's my dude.
Yeah, thank you.
It says, I bought 2 used Mopar motor mounts. Solid condition. The front and rear will be purchased new from Mopar. Do you think it's fine to do? It's a Jeep Pat.
Jeep Patriot.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
If it's good, it's good. Listen, we are not against people installing used parts on their car, honey. Because I just got some parts from eBay myself. It's just as a professional shop,
we
can't to guarantee the warranty. Because what do customers do when you put on something used and it don't go work out? I thought you said nope. So we don't even play those games.
He said new. Wait a minute.
He's got 2 used ones. So yes, that's fine to do. Just know if those 2 go out again, you know it was used, and you might need to replace, with new in the future. But if you can save $1, honey, in this economy,
I say go for it.
Absolutely.
Especially if they look good, solid condition.
For sure. Kootenai Green says, Trackhawk.
Yeah.
I want one. I don't know, man. And then sometimes I be wanting stuff, and sometimes I just be like, whatever.
No, that Trackhawk is nice.
Whatever. All right, let's see what we got. Garage Monkey asking somebody, what kind of Ellen? I don't know. That just happened. Says, I ran into your channel and I really enjoy both of you.
Thank you.
I appreciate y'all putting emphasis on enjoying. Sometimes I don't know whether to talk or not. Then I realize the people that have a problem with his wife talking, sometimes they just be women haters.
Got a lot of them out there.
I guess. Remember they got mad because you gave me that check? Like, dang. The man can't get a wife some money? Sheesh.
That's a culture thing because some cultures don't respect the woman.
And we know exactly what culture he's talking about. But we digress. We're going to go on. We're going to go on.
Culture thing sometimes.
We are happily married and,
we respect each other.
Absolutely.
It's a mutual thing.
For sure. When I blow up, babe, I'm going to buy you a Corvette or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm going to have your name stitched in it. And then I'm going to have Mrs. Cardot in the front seat. So you can't let nobody sit there but me. You feel me?
Zari going to try to sit there.
No, I said nobody.
She just try to sit there just to get on your nerves.
Since I ran into your channel, I really enjoy both of you. I usually don't watch long videos, but I can't stop watching. Thank you for being a great, honest mechanic, great couple.
Thank you.
You're going to make me cry. Thank you. I put a lot of thought into, y'all don't know how much I scrap videos. If I hate it, it'll never, I'll be like, man, it's boring. We're wasting these people's time. Like, it needs to be value in the video. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to be not only just showing y'all what we do, but are they going to learn something? Can somebody take away something from this video that they can apply? You know what I'm saying? When it comes to auto repair. So we thank you for your feedback. Whether it's a loving one or constructive criticism, we're fine with that. I was going to say, if you sit in the car eating Popeye's chicken talking crap on your channel, then, we can't really mess with you like that. That's a true story. But anyway. Jeff Simpson says, what's the highest mileage you will buy on a used car?
Ooh, this answer is going to come for 2 perspectives. Now, dealing with the used car market, because normally we're buying used to sell, I like to stick around no more than 160, 170 and under. Now for myself, I don't care. Mileage is just mileage. A lot of people get mileage confused. They'll think, low mileage is great. Well, in my opinion, 50, 60,000 miles is not good, especially if you're talking about an older vehicle. It's 25 and you found a 2012, even a 2015 with 60,000 miles on it. Well, that tells you a couple of things. That car has not been driven, one. So you got to deal with a lot of dry rotted crap. So you got to buy hoses, buy a whole bunch of stuff as soon as you buy the car. And second of all, you're not going to get the car for cheap because most likely it's going to be in pristine condition. But not knowing better, as soon as you buy the car, you have to bring it back up to speed within hoses. Third of all, 60, 70,000 miles, you don't have long left before all the major stuff needs to be done. Timing belt, tune up, all the fluid changes. So as soon as you buy that car, you're going to have to dump thousands into it just to get it back up to where it needs to be. If you don't, you're going to find yourself broke down on the side of the road and you're going to be thinking like, oh, this car's a POS. Should have never bought it. No, you just didn't know any better because the car is actually a Toyota Camry. And, Toyota Camrys are known for being great cars. But since you didn't know no better, you're driving around with dry rotted hoses and bad parts. Old. Now, on the other spectrum, car with 300,000 miles, have all the records done, not knowing to you, the car just got a brand new remanufactured engine, transmission recently replaced, somebody took real good care of the car. So mileage really doesn't matter, in my opinion. I drove around a Chrysler van for a minute with high 200,000 miles. Guy took good care of it. The only reason it broke down because I loaned it out and they didn't tell me that it was having problems. And I jump in and I'm like, oh, that thing wrong. It gotta be because my van drives great. I blew it up.
Overheated.
Yeah.
Mileage, it typically doesn't matter. People get 70,000 miles and think, but then you about to inherit all to do maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can buy high mileage and be all right. So it just really depends.
Yeah, you can't really go off of that. But from a sales point, then you want to get something decent miles.
Look at Tanya.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Tanya. She always cash up. She said, you don't want YouTube to take his little money.
Thank you so much. We love that couple.
Right.
They're inspiration to us.
It's so wonderful to meet other like-minded people in the world, Mm-hmm. And then what I learned about you guys, your audience, is y'all come from different walks of life, Mm-hmm. And I know this is just a car content channel, but you guys come on and you share things about your life and things like that. Like, we appreciate it and we pay attention to that certain thing.
Yeah, we do.
But listen, guys, it's been an hour and a half. It's time for me to get ready for work tomorrow. Yep. Break is over. We got things to do, work to catch up on because we closed on Friday. So we're going to go ahead and end the live, and I'll end it with Q-Man. He says, Alex, I love your content.
Thank you, brother.
And we appreciate all of you for coming to spend the evening with us. Stay on the lookout for another lunchtime live.
Because I want to get to those unanswered questions.
Yes, we do. So we'll see you guys on the next one.
Yeah, until next time, guys. Alex the Car Doctor out.
See you on the next one, guys. Good night.
Good night.